the Mitsubishi Space Wagon, it's been around a long time. How many derivatives are there, and what sort of numbers do you actually find on the road out there in the marketplace?
Right, with the Mitsubishi, of late there's only two derivatives, this particular one being the GLXi. They're quite good on specification, so that you'll find that with the Japanese stuff there's not that many of the actual derivatives through the range, because they have to decipher between the models they've got out. They've been out a long time. They were launched in 1991, so it's a tried and tested car, obviously. Not one of the most popular, but there again there is still a certain numbers of them about.
Engines and specification, how do they look?
Engine wise, 2 litre on the 16 valve fuel injection. They do them in an automatic and a manual transmission. As I said, with the Japanese stuff, usually very, very good. This one has remote central lock-in, alarm, power steering, twin airbags, electric windows, air conditioning. It's enhanced with good specification.
And pretty good at holding its value?
Yes, not too bad. I mean, this particular vehicle, when new, would have probably set you back just a smidgen of around about £17,000. You're looking at this one as a 1998 on the S, so it's coming up for 14, 15 months old, and this one's just around about £11,500. So it's taken its initial tumble in the first year.
It's a Japanese car, so you would say it's bulletproof, not much goes wrong on it.
Yeah, as with most Japanese cars and the MPVs, very, very good on build quality. The engines are absolutely superb, as through most of the marques with them. Yeah, virtually as close to bulletproof as you'll get.
So the Mitsubishi Space Wagon, quite an interesting one this, because you just don't see many of these about. They attract a very loyal following, and because there aren't too many of them on the road, they hold their value particularly well on the used market. This is one of the special edition models, so it's packed with all the usual bits and bobs like air conditioning and everything electric. This is the Ovation model. New, this would have cost in excess of £17,000, and with what, some 16,000 miles on the clock, this is up at £11,500. Now I have to say, despite it being a reasonable car, it's not as stylish, certainly inside and outside really as well, as the Scenic. Again, with Japanese cars you get, of course, great build quality, but they still persist on putting masses and masses of grey plastic all over the interior, which doesn't look particularly appealing. Other quirky things like the dials are just odd, and still the indicators are on the other side to what we're used to here in Europe, with the windscreen wipers being on this side. So if you can get around that, then you can find yourself a good buy. The first versions of this particular style of Space Wagon came out in late 1991, so they have been around for a fair time and are probably, let's be honest, probably due for a revamp in the not too distant future. Engines in the range, you get a 1.8 and 2 litre 16 valves plus a 2 litre turbo diesel. And again, look out for those special edition models like this one, because you can get all the bits and bobs, and on the used market you'll end up paying not much more than you would for a standard model. Now, one of the most important things, of course, about buying a mini MPV or any sort of MPV is to talk about accommodation, both for the luggage and for the passengers. The Mitsubishi offers seating for up to 7 people. You get this rear middle bench seat for 3 people, plus in the back 2 extra seats, which are actually fairly easy to get into. Push that forward, fold those forward, and again you can jump quite easily into the back. Now if you want more luggage space, you can fold those seats down flat like this, because if you want to have extra luggage capacity, if you have all the 7 seats up, as you can see, you get very little. But it's easy to put these 2 seats down simply by doing this. They lay flat, and you've got 5 seats and a reasonable amount of luggage space.